Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, Nino.
Okay, I have a question for you, Nino.
Mhm.
This is related to the Hydra raid, the DACA posting. I am your lawyer, right?
Correct.
I need your legal advice on something.
Oh, please
All
ignore
right.
my 75% off wig. Okay, I was shot yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I was wondering what was happening, but
I was shot yesterday, Nino. I was kidnapped. I was in front of Snow's face yesterday. I had surgery. It's all I could get to work today. It was 75% off because Halloween's over. I don't want to talk about it. This weekend I'll have a synthetic wig. Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
okay. Yeah, I won't
Yeah,
bring it up.
thanks.
I
Okay,
promise.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so Lockhart posts on the docket. Your Honor has been brought to the attention of the Marshals about key details and facts that need to be discussed before this case can move forward in a court setting. They have an active investigation in relation to vital parts of this raid. More details about such investigation can be disclosed once it's completed, to be done by Saturday, tomorrow.
Yes. Yep.
And would like to be sealed and in person to the judiciary in chambers so the court can move forward in a timely fashion. If the judiciary wants to know more about this at the current stage, we can discuss in person at any time.
Yeah.
And then I believe that's Robin commented and said, defense is shocked to hear that there may be foul play or misconduct.
Yep.
Grayson replies and says, we can arrange a pretrial. You know, they say, yeah, I'm available during you. I want to reply and say, this is what I've cooked up so far. If there's a pretrial hearing, all parties, prosecution and defense, need to be present, don't they? Whatever evidence or information the Marshals have related to this case needs to be shared with all parties. In addition to this, by posting accusations of the DACA without providing any proof of said accusations has inherently created a bias against the prosecution in this case. Additionally, Marshal Lockhart has attempted to publicly coerce Sergeant Seisty through 311 into interrogation by stating that he will have to deal with Judge Grayson and the rest of the judiciary if he doesn't speak to her. Even though he wanted to wait until he had proper representation, all while telling him he was kind of detained.
Oh my God.
If we want to play this game of accusations on the docket, we can discuss witness tampering, obstruction of justice, and a rights violation of freedom of self-incrimination. Wouldn't it make sense to share the findings with the prosecution to allow us to determine if we want to move forward with this
Wait,
case
what the
and
fuck?
then submit the evidence? I don't know what kind of procedure the Marshals are following right now, but before the Marshals hinder this investigation any further than they already have, can we get this sorted out? Love, Chief Moss. Now, am I going to inherently get obstruction of justice for the Marshals investigation if I post this?
Are you gonna inherently what?
Would I end up somehow catching a charge of obstructing their justice if I post this?
Are you entered in as a prosecutor?
Yes, I am.
Why would you get why would you're not obstructing though? Oh, by putting in details.
I mean, it was public. There's nothing really.
The 311, right? But 311 can be considered internal. Run that back one more time. Let me, because I wasn't expecting the boss coming out, so you had me taking it back.
Comes out.
Do you want me just to send it to you?
Sure. If you could read it back one more time, that'd be good. Just because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I started with, if there is a pretrial hearing, all parties, prosecution and the defense need to be present, don't they? Whatever evidence or information the marshals have related to this case needs to be shared with all parties. In addition to this, by posting accusations on the docket without providing any proof of said accusations has created an inherent bias against the prosecution at this time. Additionally, Marshal Lockhart has attempted to publicly coerce Sergeant Shiesty through 311 into an interrogation by stating that he will have to, quote, deal with Judge Grayson and the rest of the judiciary if he did not speak with her, even though he wanted to wait until he had proper representation, all while telling him he was, in quotes, kind of detained. If we want to play this game of accusations on the docket, could we discuss witness tampering, obstruction of justice, and a rights violation of freedom from self-incrimination? And then I go on to say, wouldn't it make sense to share the findings with the prosecution to allow us to determine if we want to move forward with this case and then submit the evidence to the docket? I don't know what kind of procedure the marshals are following right now, but before the marshals hinder this investigation any further than they already have, can we get this sorted out? Love, Chief Boss.
I like the response, but I think you're on the right track that depending on the mood, it can be looked at like that. Given that you are okay, so you are referencing things that may inherently be in their investigation, but you would not be privy to it, right? But I think you could So let me think about this. I feel like this is something that you would probably want to present in the pretrial hearing directly. Because that is going to be heard. My problem is exactly what you're thinking, is that if you put this on the docket, they can come back at you a number of ways.
What if I remove the part about the coercing and just leave it at, has inherently created a bias against the prosecution? Wouldn't it make sense to share the findings with the prosecution to allow us to determine if we want to move forward with the case and then submit the evidence?
Yes, and you might be able to infer that we now believe that there may be see, this is such a difficult thing. I gotta cook on this, because the way that this would be handled in another place, like in New York or Boston, is very different than what it's handled here. And pretty much the marshals created a conundrum that hasn't been handled before.
Yeah, they don't know how to deal with this situation, so they're just... my guess is that they don't know how to deal with the situation legally.
Yeah.
So they're just seeing what they can do.
Agreed. The sheer fact is that if they were doing this, right, this would have been something that would have happened as a consequence, right? Or there should have been, there's so many ways that it should have been done. Should not have been done this way. Like, they literally, like you said, they witness tampered. Just straight up.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I got to think about something for just 1 minute.
She's right. Oh, I have to think about how you would do this. There's some attorneys too that I could think about leaning on, and but some of them haven't done any cases recently. like I said, this is my primary concern is this is such like a.
I already told you one of them's besties with Snow, right? Clearly.
I just thought about what you said, and what if instead of that part about like laying it all out there, right? What if I put like potential misconduct has come to light that we would like to share. Potential misconduct by the Marshals has come to light that we would also like to share in a pretrial.
Yes. I think that is a better way to handle it. Not only are you able to hide your hand, I also think that you should push for the charges instead of threatening them, because that is the same game the Marshals have been doing, is that they don't know what the fuck they're doing and they're just saying random shit without having any legal justification for it. Ronan, thank you for 6 months. So the reality of the matter is when my understanding is that shit is getting hyper leaked. I had somebody, I'm just going to look, the individual's going to remain anonymous. It is a civilian who overheard that Snow is getting leaks from the Marshals.
Yeah.
So,
As to told you that?
Correct. Now, I will say that I don't know who. I don't know the level of validity to it, but it does not surprise me. Now, I do wish I was writing down key details, so that's why I'm limiting how much I'm saying, because there wasn't a party. There was a couple parties, but transparently, Den kind of pissed me off while telling him to help, telling him don't jump into a fucking black hole and get yourself screwed here. That you get what I'm saying? Like, he's not at the forefront of my note-taking process. But yeah, somebody had tapped into like some call and it was discussed.
Wait, they heard? Yeah, okay, can I just bring this? I'm just going to bring this up.
Yeah.
Today, I was in the Marshals
I want to be clear
office.
here, Maxwell. This is the claim.
Relax,
it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
To talk, nobody ever lets me talk.
Well, I don't want you walking away misunderstanding what I said. Is that all right?
Okay.
Keep in mind, just because I was told this doesn't mean like it's true. You know what I mean? I believe it to be true, but
Listen, today I was in the Marshal's office for the first time in a long time. Okay.
That was Eugene. Yeah.
We're trying to get subpoenas done. Whatever.
Oh wait,
whatever.
no, that phone tap was something different.
One of the Marshals mentioned.
Wait, didn't he know directly? I don't remember what Eugene told me. I'm gonna be honest.
The Marshal's
That's a problem.
office. Can those hear people talk?
Say again?
Yeah, they said they found a camera in the Marshal's lobby. So they were trying to kind of point
cameras
the finger.
don't have audio.
Okay, great. Well, I don't know that. But they were trying to say that the reason Snow knows what he knows could be the 311s or could be the camera that was found in the lobby, which last I checked, they don't have meetings in the lobby. So
wait, what happened?
They are aware that I wasn't. Yes, Dark and Anderson were in there. They are aware that I am concerned that Snow is finding out information about things that he shouldn't even know, that even officers, including myself, part of the Hydra investigation, don't even know. I even told Snow yesterday, I think you know more about what's going on with the case than I do. Because that's how I feel.
I mean, so a couple things to keep in mind, right? I know more than y'all will probably ever know, just as a consequence of people being more open with me, right?
Really quick.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wait till a little bit later to post this, but
Mhm.
hi, Judge Grayson. If there's a pretrial hearing, shouldn't all parties, prosecution and defense, be present? Whatever evidence or information the marshals have related to this case needs to be shared with all parties so both parties can make informed decisions. In addition to this, by posting accusations on the docket without providing any proof of said accusations, an inherent bias has against the prosecution has been created. Wouldn't it make sense to share findings with the prosecution to allow us to determine if we want to move forward with the case and then submit to evidence? Potential misconduct from the marshals has come to light that the LSPD would like to discuss during the pretrial. I don't know what kind of procedure the marshals are following right now, but before the marshals hinder this investigation any further than they already have, can we get this sorted out? Love, Chief Moss.
Love it. So I can tell you right now that other source has mentioned that the marshals have been talking about getting rid of Den, that he's
And
not going to be a
myself.
problem anymore. They've been openly talking about details of this. Look, here's the problem. That most of these marshals are random people off the streets, right? And it is marshals are a projection manifest, right? With the amount of nasty shit that they've been saying for over the last 3 months, they're literally doing what they said they believed was happening or was getting people to believe it happened. And so what happens when you give more power to individuals that probably have like 50 man hours on duty? They start
Preach.
doing dumb shit, right? And they're, probably posting things based on what they saw in a movie. And that doesn't work out in reality. So,
Anna told Doc yesterday that myself and Den probably won't even last through a deposition. That's what she told Doc yesterday.
well,
Okay.
Anna's also that dumb fuck that when Espinoz went and stated that cops need to do X, Y, and Z equals PC, which
Wait,
is
hold on.
Mhm.
What did she tell Doc?
She told Doc that myself and Den wouldn't even last through a deposition. I don't even know why she's
What the fuck
talking
does
about me in front of Doc.
what does that
but
mean? What does she mean by that?
Doc came to me because he thinks that they're coming for myself and for Denzel. He's thought that for a while, but basically people are saying that I'm incompetent, and they're gonna try to get me impeached because of it.
look, these people literally their entire lives are based on the misery. Like, I don't know what kind of fucking depression they're going through, but they're trying to spread that fucking depression around. And they're going to be about to be sat the fuck down real goddamn
You're
quick.
telling me that somebody who didn't have the foresight to realize that they were inherently witness tampering somebody and obstructing justice called you incompetent?
Yes.
They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
To
Are
another
you sure
officer.
you don't want me to put that in there, Nino? I mean, I'm feeling pretty petty.
I feel like that is something that can be presented to the judge, but I would not put it on the docket, right? If the marshals, dress up like clowns and,
Yeah.
then
Why am I being discussed though? Why is my name being brought up to an officer that's not even command, not high command, and being talked shit about by a marshal
is it dumb fucks?
during their interview? It was his interview. It wasn't even like
Yeah.
They're literally shitting on me as they're interviewing him about whether I'm competent enough to be in my position.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Look, I don't think they have the social aptitude to understand what they're doing. I mean,
No, I agree. And I think that they have fucking two-headed rats in their department and they shouldn't even have a department. Period.
well, for what it's worth, I don't think they will for soon. So there's a lot that's being cooked right now, and they're about to learn what it means to be a cop, and they're going to be put through their paces. I mean, they've pissed off a lot of attorneys that can work for me without a bar license. And there are currently 6 separate efforts taking place simultaneously. And that was what what consisted of my day yesterday. Between FOIAs of those that have had things mishandled to the stuff that Pred is working on, where this poor LSPD officer has been dragged as like a scapegoat for whatever fucking weird fantasies the Marshals have about removing Pred out of power.
What are you talking about?
Well, the raid, right? That shit that, so this bit is public, right? You know the raid on Pred?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not going to comment on anything,
sure.
you know.
So
But I'll
Spade
listen.
very clearly, and it will be proven as such when the end of this, storyline ends, that she was coerced and pressured into making these decisions, which is clearly evident to I think anyone with like 2 IQ. Slapping something on the docket that didn't make sense, and even that entire trial has so many errors in it. Now, the worst thing about look, I just you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm realizing I need to bite my tongue. Just get ready for some fireworks.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah.
Legislative fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We better get out of here before. I mean, people probably already noticed their blips.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, they followed me and Den over here for our 5-minute conversation where he was getting legal advice.
What?
Well,
Yep. I've asked the FOIA for it. Oh, they're about to fucking learn.
Wait,
they're about to
Can
fucking.
you FOIA Marshal reports?
They're about to find out.
Wait, this is what I'm going to ask. Okay, why do I feel like we are not allowed to have legal representation when we're being interrogated by marshals?
You are.
They are making us feel like we are not.
Hey,
citizens,
Sonia,
we're not
let me call you
people
right
that
back, and
deserve
I
the
can
same
meet you up in
treatment.
Polito.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
yeah, that's my whole issue with this shit with Lockhart and Denzel is he just wanted a rep. He wanted me to be there. He wanted a lawyer, and
That's it.
she wouldn't wait, and then she
pulled the.
She literally coerced him.
Yes.
We have he saved everything. We have the 311 where she's demanding him to come, and then he documented their conversation back and forth and everything.
These are the people that are supposed to be overseeing us.
Yeah.
That are supposed to be stopping us from doing literally what they're doing. It's crazy.
This is the equivalent of someone that goes to like a private school, right? And they go to the public school and, trying to explain to everyone how good their education is. Turns out that they're like 5 grades below and don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
What was that one cop and Moss was the prosecutor for? The one that told that one ADMC member that he had to talk to her. Like, since there was no lawyers available, that person had to talk to him. The fuck was his name? It was one of the cops that was fired.
What?
Oh, Dominic
Riker?
Rhodes.
Oh, Rhodes.
Yeah. So Anna is pulling a Dominic Rhodes, which is impressive to me because that court case was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I told Shiesty because listen, not everybody is good at being under pressure or like talking or defending themselves or, if you're being like, we know now that they are coming for my job and Denzel's job. Anybody that has to do with the hydra, which is great. Like, what's crazy is I didn't even lead this raid. All I did was support that they wanted to do the raid. I supported that. Okay, I'll stay around and help with this. I wasn't in charge of anything. All I did was sign a warrant that a judge said looked great, right? Perfect. I'll sign it. Great. I'm signing it. It's signed. Let's move in. And now I'm so incompetent. Everything needs to be revamped. People are stepping back from training cadets. So everything's just left on me again. Just shit on Haley. She's the fucking idiot. You know, it's fine because if it was anybody else, I feel like they wouldn't be here anymore. I don't give a damn.
Nah,
I'm here.
fuck them.
So I don't give a damn.
They're about to learn. They're gonna learn. You know, look, they don't know what the fuck they're doing at the end of the day, right?
No.
And
I'm pissed off that they're even talking about me to officers during their interviews. How disrespectful is that? How
I want you,
unprofessional.
as I've told Den, which you probably went through, every one of these interactions, document. Any sort of example, document. Because I think an argument can be made that they themselves are destabilizing the LSPD and creating an environment where you are being set up to inherently fail.
I think they're picking and choosing who they're interviewing. Also,
Yeah, exactly.
By the way.
Oh, I am very well aware of this. Trust me. I have it noted down.
They are picking and choosing who they're interviewing. Viv told me today that I need to go talk to them and let them know my side of things. And it's like, I had a cadet the day that I was supposed to go talk to them. Anna was supposed to call me the next day. She hasn't had 5 seconds to call me to reschedule this. And I was in their office today talking to Dark about, you know, obviously other things. But I'm not running from anything.
Yeah.
Like, please ask me why this is happening. Nobody has asked me anything about this raid except for the day after when I was asked, why would you go ahead and sign a warrant knowing that the MDT was having problems? Oh, I don't know, because the whole world doesn't stop because the MDT doesn't work properly. Maybe that's fucking why, right? Nobody's asked me one question since that day.
Look, here's the thing,
Not one.
right? You cannot expect rats and snakes to have manners, common sense, or like basic, I don't know, cognitive skills, right? It's why they're rodents. That's why you give the fucking hamster the little wheel to sit on and just run on right now. But the problem is that wheel's about to fall off its goddamn axle. So, I mean, look, it's a lot of these things are very. Look, I've been standing on the sidelines, and to me, it's rather obvious what's happening. And the thing is, the beauty of law enforcement, right, is y'all have to document these interactions, especially when it has to do with civil and criminal charges. So let them keep doing these things because they're only signing their own death warrant.
By the way, really quickly, I am here today to talk to you about the certs that we put in place.
You better get that done. Otherwise, you're done.
We put Wade Bradford. We put Wade Bradford as LSPD cert lead.
Okay.
For pursuits, he shipped 2. He was already a shift lead, so I think he's going to be a really good fit.
I'd like to him to do a presentation when he's ready, where he brings himself and the interceptors, kind of brings out the equipment and does a little show of, here's our interceptor unit. You know what I mean? And I like to do this with all the cert leads just because I think it'd be a cool way to show off the unit as to what it's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Can I have him connect with you? Because I think
absolutely.
Okay. And then we have put Albert King from Shift 1 as the Air 1 lead.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So Motor is Anastasia Pierce, and TRT is Jimmy Frost. I did not get on BCSO about pointing their leads for Motor and TRT. They'll, I was just like...
Yeah, I mean, not your problem,
thing,
right? Makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on with TRT? Say that one more time, because I heard shifts.
No. I just, when Bones and I talked about this, we decided to do the co-lead for every single cert rather than just Pursuit and Air 1. So BCSO still needs to appoint their leads for Motor and TRT. I think they were figuring that out.
So wait, is Frost the TRT lead or is Den the TRT lead?
Okay, so on paper, Jimmy Frost is the TRT lead. Because in the past we had 1 lead. However, TRT, their internal ranking structure they see Denzel, Jimmy Frost, and Mateo Radich. Mateo's BCSO. They see themselves as equal leads.
I
Which,
see.
I don't care. That's their own internal ranking structure. They can keep that. But on paper, I need a BCSO and an LSPD lead.
Understandable. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is fantastic. This is very good.
No, I'm excited. And King was thrilled. I think King
Okay.
is really, really excited. He's wonderful. So I'm happy with him, and I'm happy with Bradford. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on Bradford and just making sure that he's like supported and that he has everything he needs. And I told him that, he's working hand in hand with Bones, right? So if Bones ever tries to pull rank on him or won't budge on something, I told him to bring me into it.
All right. Perfect. And
So I got his back.
Okay. Sorry?
I just said that I got his back,
That's good. Yeah, that's smart because, pressure, especially coming from what may be perceived as a higher authority, is not a good thing.
No.
When is Bradford normally around?
Shift 2. He's around right now.
I'd love to meet him. Maybe go on a bit of a ride along if he doesn't mind.
Yeah. He wants to go and talk to me about some stuff right now.
Yes, of course.
But I will let him know to call you, and
Okay.
maybe you guys can go do that tonight.
That is perfect.
Cool. He's really, really funny. He's very nice.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I've ever met him before, so this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, who are you meeting? Ross?
Bradford.
Oh, Bradford. Yeah. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, he was an
Look at that.
LSPD. He transferred to BCSO for a little while. He said that he hated it, that he's LSPD for life. So I let him transfer back, and then I made him a sergeant and made him pursuit lead.
Why did he, what happened? Why did he leave to begin with?
You want Shicey's version? I'm not going to give him Shicey's version, right, Moss? I can't. I mean, it's Friday. I'm just going to give it to him.
His girlfriend is in BCSO?
He was chasing I'm going to say Putang because I don't feel comfortable saying the other stuff.
Oh, so he fed better in BCSO. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Pred went and talked to BCSO, and they all thought it was a right to human dignity for them to date cop killers. And they couldn't...
what?
Yeah. This is I think their collective IQ might be 80. I don't think they come to realize that it is not a right to be a law enforcement and follow legislation.
I cannot.
It's actually one of the most brain dead things. And Nakota was there talking about right to dignity. They literally were like, right to dignity. Yeah. And it's like, you understand that's not how it works, right? You know what I'm saying? You know when something is so stupid and these people are so convinced that you realize that there's no way you have to actually educate them 5 levels to get to the conversation. Your job is not a right. Your job has requirements. Legislation already has restrictions. You have what's next? Felons can own guns, right? You can make that argument, but right now felons can't own guns. That's not you can't just point at right to dignity,
I think they can actually.
You would have to you'd have to articulate all of that, but I see where you're going with it, and yes, we are going down that route.
No, I mean, so in order to get your weapons license, you can't have a felony, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get your weapons license removed, you can't have a violent felony. So you technically can have a felony and own a gun. I'm pretty sure.
McNulty was the only one, yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
So
no, you cannot. Your weapons license gets taken if you commit a felony, 100%.
Yeah.
Where does it say that in the legislation?
So you're right that
the
current
violent felony.
So the current legislation, I agree with you, Daisy. But the thing is, your right to dignity, you are like foregoing the right as a consequence of you having this, but then you have chosen to go down a route that makes you lose it, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have the freedom
There are stipulations, you know.
Exactly.
Like with your, you know, like, you know, there is in the Constitution, where does it say it? Something about weapons.
Yeah. It's like the freedom of movement, right? Like we don't have that in our Constitution, but like let's use that as an example. You have
Yeah,
the
so,
freedom of
like-
movement. How you were given that freedom, you have that inherently. However, if you become
Can't
a
trespass
felon,
still, though.
and
yeah.
exactly, that's exactly it.
No, so like under social services, right to bear arms, citizens with a legal civilian weapons license have a right to bear arms. So like that is like the stipulation. You have to have a weapons license in order to bear arms,
Yeah.
you know? And then it goes into, well, how do you get that weapons license?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It was a very entertaining conversation. I have never seen a group of individuals that upset protecting people that from being able to have relationships with the same people that are looking to kill them. You know what? The best way, it was like a room full of people looking for gotchas, exposing their intelligence. It was crazy.
You know, you're right, Nino. Maybe I need to find a gangbanger and just fucking marry him. And then maybe then I'll be competent and ignored for all the things that I do. Maybe that's what I need to do. You're right, Nino.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta do.
I can stop putting out hits, you know, and
Sorry. It is Friday, Moss. I apologize. Please ignore me.
all right.
Sorry.
All good. Okay. All right. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta go talk to Bradford. I will have him connect with you.
All right.
And we'll go from there.
All right, perfect. Okay. All right. Well, best of luck, and if you guys need anything,
I will let you know. I gotta find out how much money I need from you, for like interceptor shit.
Yep.
And then
I'd like a pre-receipt in advance, so I have an idea.
No, I was gonna send you like a write up about it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to do now. Is like anytime somebody asks me for money, I'm like, make a work order.
Yeah, that's really good. All right.
Do you have anything to do with EMS being promoted? By any chance?
Nope.
I don't think so.
No,
All right.
they
Sorry.
kind of handle themselves.
Okay.
Wait, what
Must
happened?
be nice. Must be nice. Oversight.
Oh, I don't know. Something about tourniquets for sale. Anyway.
Oh,
bye.
I am aware that Angel said that you can sell heli repair kits and tourniquets.
Wait,
Like I said,
She
she's
did
so
say that.
she did. It's
I
so
knew she said it. People think I'm crazy.
No.
It's a charge. You can't have medical. Hello?
so. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of fireworks.
How is that legal?
No. Listen, don't worry
Listen,
too much
they
about it.
pulled- They
Yeah.
pulled EMS aside today to buy tourniquets from him. And Flippy was in our driveway yesterday trying to buy tourniquets from a BCSO guy.
Don't worry. A lot of fireworks this week. There's going to be a lot. Oh my God.